Last college women's basketball season, Samaria, Caitlin Clark had the sport by the throat. Iowa women's basketball was must-see TV, and if they were in a town, it was packed out in that arena, okay? The fan investment into Caitlin followed her to the WNBA, and viewership numbers for her games were sky high. Her mere presence alone helped several teams break attendance records, and in some instances, teams chose to actually move games to larger venues to accommodate the fanfare of Caitlin coming to town.
Geno Auriemma is enraged stands at UConn games are empty, as the name of Caitlin Clark echoes even after graduating. Geno performed and crowded arenas around the nation. But this tale isn't just about the numbers, it's about a choice he made years ago that may now be his greatest regret in decades. Geno Auriemma was unbeatable, or let's say his UConn teams were the best in women's basketball, but lately there have been signs of a decline in attendance, with some games drawing fewer than 6,000 spectators.
Yesterday, in a game in the Bahamas, UConn played for 567 people.
Additionally, there is Caitlin Clark, the player Geno no question disregarded and ignored, whose ascent has been nothing short of historic. Her influence has left fans wondering if Geno's error cost him more than he is prepared to acknowledge. How she went from being shunned by UConn to redefining the future of women's basketball, and how Geno responded when his team attracted fewer than 600 fans. Let us dissect it.
A needle mover. The biggest draw in American sports today, CC22, Caitlin Clark Kent. That's just the truth.
They say, yeah, he really is a shad. Talk numbers. After falling in love with all of my players due to their performance and demeanor for years, the Huskies were more than just a basketball program. They were an institution, drawing fans from all over to watch players like Diana Taurasier, Maya Moore, and Brianna Stewart dominate the court. Sellouts weren't just common, they were expected. But today's story couldn't be more different. UConn basketball has long been associated with packed arenas and electrifying crowds.
Two things happen. One, they fall in love with all my players because of the way they play and the way they conduct themselves. And they go, yeah, he really is a shithead.
UConn performed in the Bahamas just yesterday in front of barely 567 fans. Yes, you read correctly, 567 for a program with as much prestige as UConn is nearly unimaginable. Before you suggest that this drop wasn't an isolated instance, consider that it happened in the Bahamas. In contrast, Iowa tells a completely different picture. The Huskies' home games, which previously had a near-cult following, now draw an average of 4,000 to 6,000 fans per game, a sharp fall from the days when they would frequently sell out. This season, the Hawkeyes are drawing an incredible 15,000 spectators every game, more than doubling UConn's previous attendance records. Even without Caitlin Clark playing, this is more than just devotion. It's a testament to Clark's enduring influence, which turned Iowa into a must-see show and established an involvement culture that lasted long after she left.
Paige Bueckers goes to the Bahamas, 500 people. And repeat, 500. 500 people. They are playing in what looks to be, you can see there's a stage. Oh my God, they're not even playing on a basketball, like in a basketball gym. They're literally playing in like what looks to be an auditorium.
The team's recent struggles to dominate women's basketball have been blamed by some for the decline in attendance, while others point to an evolving fan base that craves excitement, star power, and the kind of jaw-dropping plays that players like Clark bring to the table. However, there is another side to this story that many fans can't help but wonder: did Geno's own decisions, both on and off the court, play a role in UConn's fall? After all, Caitlin Clark, the athlete who could have brought enthusiasm and vitality back to UConn's program, never received an offer from the renowned coach.
Fumble of the week. Doing all that talking online, but when it comes to the proof, it is in the pudding. When it comes to the numbers, when it comes to the black and the white. Are you in the black? Or are you in the red? Are you showing up? Or are you bluffing?
For years, Geno Auriemma was an unrivaled genius whose choices were rarely questioned, but ignoring Clark may turn out to be one of his most crucial errors. The player, who wasn't considered UConn material, went on to captivate the basketball world, leaving UConn fans wondering, what if, in order to fully comprehend how this all came to pass, we must delve deeper into the tale of Caitlin Clark's ascent and the choice that Geno may regret the most.
The reality of the situation, it really hits when you see they're like, oh, the fans need to spend more money. The reality is fans need to spend money the way they want to spend money. If a fan wants to see a player, they can see a player. Like, it's not the fault of a fan of Juju Watkins who doesn't want to pay to see her play. It's not the fault of a fan of Paige Bueckers who doesn't want to pay to see her play. Just because fans of Caitlin Clark will pay to see her play. Like, that's the reality situation. Is it's nothing to, there's never blame the consumer or the viewer for what they like.
Let's go back to the beginning of this tale. In addition to being a standout high school player, Caitlin Clark was a phenomenon. As a recruit, her talent was indisputable. She was a guard with amazing vision, deep range, and an aggressive scoring mindset set. She was the type of player a coach would love to build a program around. She had offers from prestigious universities around the country, including Notre Dame, Oregon, Texas, and Iowa. Almost everyone recognized her ability, but UConn was conspicuously absent from her list of suitors. The coach, whose program helped to define women's basketball, was Geno Auriemma. After decades of excellence, Clark was not offered a scholarship, shocking both fans and analysts. According to some quarters, Geno questioned whether Clark's high-risk, high-reward three-pointers and flashy passes would fit the UConn system. Historically, UConn has prospered on disciplined, team-oriented basketball, and Clark's free-flowing style of play seems like a gamble.
Geno Auriemma, Caitlin Clark again. The world turns. It's Caitlin Clark's world. We just live on planet Caitlin. Geno, baby, if Caitlin Clark is on the team, it becomes the right team because Caitlin Clark is on it. It's like saying Michael Jordan's not on the right team. It's the right team if Michael Jordan is on the roster.
They say, yeah, he really is a shad. Talk numbers. After falling in love with all of my players due to their performance and demeanor for years, the Huskies were more than just a basketball program. They were an institution, drawing fans from all over to watch players like Diana Taurasier, Maya Moore, and Brianna Stewart dominate the court. Sellouts weren't just common, they were expected. But today's story couldn't be more different. UConn basketball has long been associated with packed arenas and electrifying crowds.
Wants to know, if Caitlin Clark played for Geno, would he let her shoot logo threes?
Should I answer that?
Go ahead.
Hell no.
Okay.
Like, he didn't even let us dribble. Like,
not thigh passes to
we
the side.
were playing triangle, pass, screen away, pinch post.
I bet we came off five pick and rolls.